how do buyers who are listening right now stand out from the pack, and what can they do differently to catch the broker's eye, but also catch the seller's eye too?
So 9 out of 10 people that start looking for a business to buy one never buy anything.
That's a huge stat. 9 out of 10 people are going to fail at finding something. Like,
yeah, they start and don't ever buy anything, right? So you know what you need to understand is that when you are reaching out to a broker and you're like, hey, I want to buy a business, like, let's jump on the phone. Guess what? They've heard that before. And the odds of you being a total and complete waste of time are really high. Okay. You know, the biggest mistake that I've seen buyers make is sort of come into this as an investor without overlapping into that entrepreneur bit. You are applying to be the CEO of their company that they probably built from scratch and maybe have run for the last 10 years or 30 years. This might be the thing that put their kids through college. Okay. This might be the thing that like has funded their lifestyle. It might be the thing that they worked on every day and night without any sleep for 5+ years. Okay. And now they've built value and it's time for them to move on. And so if you come in, you know, pounding your chest being like, listen, you know, you're going to sell me this thing, but only if I can make an ROI on it. Like, you're not going to get very far. If you come in and sort of, you know, acknowledge the value that's been created by, you know, the entrepreneur, the prior CEO, the seller, think about this as like a two-way interview where you're really trying to sell them on your ability to sort of like take over the business and take it to the next level. That's key. There's another little piece of advice that I don't know that I've ever said out loud. There's kind of like a bell curve in due diligence, okay? And some people come in and you can tell they're just like going to be so easy through due diligence. And then the other extreme is like, it's going to be so hard, okay? Now, here's the truth. I actually don't like either of those options. The people that like give this, like, I'm not even going to look at anything, I'm just ready to close. Those are the people that get cold feet. They come in a week, 2 days before closing, and they say something like, I don't know, I just can't get comfortable with it. And it's like, yeah, you didn't do due diligence. You didn't look at anything. Like, you, as a buyer, you need to, like, I always say, like, you need to like run all the numbers, do all the quantifiable stuff up front, and then you need to just sit in it. You need to like sit in the business, like spiritually, for like a week or two, and just like let it flow over you and understand it, and like just really internalize it, right? And the other people that are just going to run you through the ringer on diligence, like those are usually the people that are looking for a reason not to close, or they're looking for ways that they can discount what you already agreed to at the LOI.
You're trying to sell yourself and say, hey, I'm easy to work with, I'm likable, and I know you've built a really cool business, and let's approach it that way, so that rather than like, hey, you build a cool business, but I'm going to tear you down in all these different things, and all of a sudden your baby's not as pretty as you thought. Well, that's right. The last thing a seller wants to hear. They want to hear their baby is awesome, but there might be some things that they need to fix. And so some of that is probably just overall presentation. And
if you're not going to buy the business, like, don't put in a letter of intent. It's really an engagement to get married. Okay. Like, you wouldn't ask someone to marry you if you didn't really want to marry them. Right. And if you do, then you're probably crazy or something, like, so so all I'm saying is respect the process, respect the people involved, respect their time, and go into this with the goal of closing on something, right? Work with conviction, work on a time frame, work with a sense of urgency, and you will succeed.